hospital suddenly closes, and now dedicated employees are trying to figure out exactly what the impact will be on them and on everyone else. Good evening, everyone. With the doors of Southwest Regional Medical Center closed today, many of the employees of that Brown County hospital took to the streets.
They want people in their community to know how unfairly they're being treated and how the shutdown late Friday could have a bearing on the safety of the entire community. Local 12 had a crew at their demonstration all morning long, listening to their concerns. And Rich Jaffe is here now with the latest. Rich?
Rob, these employees are really getting a raw deal, and frankly, the whole situation smells pretty funny. Hospital officials say they were surprised late last week when a creditor, which is really Toshiba, called in a debt that had been on the books since the hospital bought an MRI machine way back in 2008. Demanding payment, that creditor laid claim in court to a hospital bank account, and suddenly there was no money to make payroll on payday, and the hospital doors slammed shut. Nurses, doctors, techs, and other staffers lined the street in front of their hospital. The signs say it all. They love their community, but they also want to be paid.
I got a phone call on Friday at 4 o'clock telling me that the hospital was closing at 5 o'clock and that we could come get our belongings on Monday.
That fast, nearly 300 people were out of work. Not only do these dedicated healthcare workers not know when or if they'll be paid, they can't get answers on other important issues like insurance or workers' comp. After working here for 23 years, answers are critical, and so is time, for nursing supervisor ALAYNE Wells. She was recently diagnosed with cancer.
They won't cooperate, and they won't, all I asked for is medical records, and they've not helped me with that, or COBRA papers to continue insurance, and they've not helped with that. So, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Closing the hospital goes far beyond just employee impact. It will also take rescue crews longer to get someone to the help they need when it's miles away.
It means we don't have anywhere to go if we need to go to a hospital. I mean, we got to go all the way to Mount Orb or somewhere. That's pretty far off.
Can you get there if you have to?
If I had to, yeah. But, I mean, if it was really life or death, I'd rather be right here at home.
Shortly after noon, a hospital attorney spoke to the worried crowd.
The owners guarantee that everybody's going to get paid, and we're hoping to get people paid this week. What's going to happen with the hospital is still an unknown. The exact date that people are going to get paid is still unknown. The date that if people want to get back in and get things out of their desk is still unknown. We're still trying to work these things out.
Now, apparently there are still some employees inside the hospital working with no idea whether they're going to be paid or not. Some of the people on the protest line say the folks inside are actually being told not to communicate with those on the outside. And clearly, it's a very troubling situation, and we can only hope that it's going to get resolved quickly.
But I remember a couple of years ago, you did a story and other people were talking about the possibility that the county owned that hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
They sold it to an individual.
They did.
And that opened up this potential, right?
And that individual had a history of doing exactly what has happened now. The difference, though, here is that the current owner is not that same guy, but the scenario is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it certainly is curious, to say the least.
Is there some negotiation to be had in order to save that hospital? Do you know?
That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Right now, as the attorney said, they don't know anything about what the future of that hospital is going to be, so everybody is on pins and needles, just hoping that there is some resolution.
Yeah, but we'll stay on it, right?
We will.
All right, thanks, Rich. Hospital officials want us to tell you that Southwest Regional's home care unit is still functioning, even though the hospital is closed.